This is our system matrix. It is divided in three different phases: input, throughput, and output. This is a matrix that Luigi presented. Today, I want to focus my presentation on the first phase of this process. This is the assessment process, the evaluation of the person of with the intellectual disability. This is a multi-professional and multi-dimensional assessment of the person in different dimensions. After this evaluation, we can balance all information and we can define strengths and limitations to create a long-term objective for implementing an individual support plan and to evaluate at the end the outcomes divided in personal, functional, and clinical outcomes. This is the first phase. Yes, I comprehend. This is the first phase of the matrix, the evaluation. We have in the first line the column of the eight domains of quality of life: personal, physical, material, and emotional well-being, self-determination, personal development, social inclusion, interpersonal relation, and right and empowerment. The first question is what is important to the person with intellectual disability. It's an important question. Question is the first question. Okay, we investigate about desire, expectation, and what is important to do for the person. We can have an interview with a person with intellectual disability, but sometimes it's not possible to have an interview, and so we can observe the behaviors of the person to have some to respond to our questions, and we can have an interview with the car staff or the family or volunteer or all the person that know appropriately the person with intellectual disability. All information is divided in the 8 domains of quality of life, and so, for example, our subject, a male, it is 36 years old. In physical well-being, he likes to go out for walks, and in social inclusion, he likes to go to the church and sing with a choir. And in interpersonal relations, he likes to chat with his caregivers. And for right, he likes to be free to move and walk wherever he wants. This is some example of expectation. Our data in every domain in quality of life is defined. And so the second question is what is important for the person with intellectual disability. This is the second important question, and so we can answer. We can ask to the person, the car staff, or the family, or parents, what is important to for developing the functioning of the person of intellectual disability, or what is important for improving quality of life for person with intellectual disability. For example, in personal development, it's important learning domestic skill, personal skill, or in self-determination for the person is important having more opportunity to choose what you want to do or what you want to go. Or in interpersonal relationship, is important learning social skills to improve his relations. And so we put all information in the specific domain, and for every domain we build a profile. The first dimension is adaptive behavior. we measure this dimension with Vineland Adaptive Behavior Scale. For this person, we investigate communication skills, daily skills, and social skills. The column under the black line are the limitation for the person, and over the black line are the strengths for the person with intellectual disability. We measure the behavior, the challenges behavior for with the of a person with intellectual disability with ABC. This person have some problem about staying in seat during a lesson, during the lunch, or it's very impulsive or easily distractible, and he has the behavior of repetitive speech and repeat a word or phrase over and over. All information is defined in every domain of quality of life, and we put the definition of implication in every domain. For example, in emotional well-being, we have the person like to smile, or he has appropriate behavior with the others. Or in material well-being, there is a limitation. He is not able to manage his spare time. In personal development, he has imitative skills. This is a strength, but he has a lot of limitation, low attention level, not able to stay in seat during a training, and so on. We put all information in the specific cells. In blue, we have the functioning strengths, and in red, we have the functioning limitation of the person. In every domain, we build our profile. The fourth dimension is the health. We assess the diagnosis of the person with intellectual disability. In particular, this person has a moderate intellectual disability, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, psychotic disorder, epilepsy, and enuresis. For every domain of quality of life, we define the implication of the diagnosis. And for example, in physical well-being, he has high risk to fall on the ground. Or in material well-being, the risk is having clothes always wet for diagnosis of enuresis. And for example, in right, it's not possible to stay alone for ADHD, or stigma for the diagnosis of enuresis. We put all information in our cells. We evaluate the context. We evaluate facilitators and barriers in every domain of quality of life. We use ICF in the profile, the part of support and relationship and attitudes. And in this dimension, we define all implication in every domain. And so, for example, in personal development, a very facilitator is the staff, the car staff, because they want to teach him skills. Or in personal development, we have barriers in the immediate family because they are not interested in teaching new skill. In interpersonal relation, he has a facilitator, good relation with care staff, and so on. We put all information in our domain of quality of life. And at the end, we measure quality of life using a personal outcome scale, and the score the only score under over 14 is the emotional well-being. It has a very low profile of quality of life. We put our information. At the end, for every domain of quality of life, we can define a long-term objective, and we have a lot of information about the person. We can consider strengths and limitation of the person. This is our handmade matrix, and this is the ecological matrix in our informatic program, the profile of our instruments. We can decide every time to see a person like a romantic starry sky, but sometimes we can be like an astronomer and named every elements or every stars in this case. This is a very different point of view, and we can decide every time to use a different point of view to see the person. Thank you.